Well, welcome to Live Talk. I am your host, Yeremyah, author Yeremyah, alongside my co-host here, Minister Samuel,
Welcome, everyone.
and the ambassador, Shubael. Well, it's been long in the waiting, but we're finally at the point where we can begin really having that conversation um, about spirituality versus religion. The first thing I want to do before we either getting into that point, I want to just give a rundown of our agenda for today. And of course, we had our welcome everybody in. We're gonna hear something from our minister as far as the inspirational or spiritual quote for today. Next, after that, we get into our conversation about spirituality versus religion. And then we'll go to a small break. Then right after that, we're gonna have the ambassador thoughts of the day, and then after that, we'll have the author reading of the day, where I share some books that I feel like will really enlighten you. And after that, we'll kind of close out with a little music and a sign off. So let's get right into it. Greetings, brothers. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful today. How about yourself, sir?
Doing wonderful as well.
Good. All is well. All is well. Feeling good. Feeling good.
Okay, awesome. Now this has been a huge conversation, and it comes up at anytime when someone doesn't understand something, they look at it as being like religious, although it may be spiritual. So it came across me as, what's the difference between spirituality and religion? And, how can we differentiate the two? So just kind of tossing that around when it comes to spirituality. What we think about what is spirituality?
I'm gonna
Minister?
open up a quick inspiration and a quote
Oh,
that kind of partly inspired why we are here today.
and to our listening audience, we have to have the inspirational message of the day first before we even get into our initial conversation. So I kind of skipped that. So we're gonna give it over to the minister. Minister is on you.
I understand you ready to get into this topic. It's like when
Hey,
you had
it's
that meal
burning.
has been prepared and it's sitting on the table and you ready to get into it and
Yes,
break
sir.
some bread. I
Can't wait.
understand, but like a lot of people like to have some words of inspiration before they break the meal. So we're gonna do a quick inspiration. And part of this, especially when we talk about spirituality versus religion, um, for today is you need to always surround yourself with people who are going to lift you higher. And that's why we're here today. We're amongst a group of men who are dedicated to not just raising up ourselves, our families, and our children, but our community at large. So do remember that as you go through your walk, you want to surround yourself with positive people that can lift you up because there's so much going on, especially around these times, that can pull you down, that can put you in a place that you shouldn't be. You want your spirituality to be enhanced by the people that you're around. Like we're around a great group of brothers, a great group of men here today.
Yes, sir.
And I really enjoy this because I feel uplifted when I walk into the room. It's kind of like, I'm a battery, but when I hook up with another battery, I get more power.
Supercharged.
And we hook up with another battery, see, we supercharged. So that's what we're talking about, being supercharged.
Yes, sir.
So that's our inspiration for today. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who can lift you up.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And just to that point, just to chime in on that, oftentimes we try to surround ourselves around people that's going to praise us. and it doesn't allow us to elevate to that next level because they're always looking at us at that one point where we are right now.
Yep.
And if you keep those people around you, you'll never grow, you know.
Right.
And it's like put people around you that's going to try you, you know, that's going to, you know, test you or take you to, like you say, to that next level in life. You want to be able to be a great follower, because a good follower becomes a great leader.
Yes.
You know, so it's always, I like that. So thank you so much, Minister, for that inspirational message of the day.
Yes, sir. That was very powerful because I truly believe that, you know, the more I'm around spiritual people, powerful people, the more power I can receive. You know, when I'm around people that's just like, I read a post on my Facebook page, and the guy was like, you know, just look at your circle. And if your circle is like, you know, bringing you stress and drama and chaos, you know, then that's not a circle, it's more of a cage. You know, and I was like, wow, you know, that's powerful, that's deep, you know, and a lot of people feed off of that. And I know just from my life experiences, the more powerful people I'm around, that challenged me to be a powerful person. It challenged me to be a influential person, you know, and not just to you know, go off the praises, you know, because that can, you know, bring about complacency.
Right.
You know, I can get stagnant with that, you know, and just, you know, flatline. And it's all about elevation. So I like that, Minister. I like that. That was powerful.
Because the next thing is it's going to data starts pulling you down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm the one, you know, we always talk about perfection. You never become perfect if you don't know none of your flaws. You know, that's a part of being tested in life, you know. So I'm always open to criticism. And I think a lot of times we're not open to criticism. And a lot of us, we don't know how to control our emotions.
Right.
You know,
right.
so as is, you know, that ego inside us want to protect and they want to defend. But it don't allow us to grow that way when we stay complacent, like you said, in that one place, you know, because in our heads, we got it together. You know what I'm saying? As long as they keep praising me and telling me this, I'm going to keep going with that, you know, so yes. So
you stay on that same spot.
Right. So just, you know, just getting past that point to where our topic is for today. We're talking about spirituality versus religion, and you know, what's the difference? You know, is there a difference? You know, and we're gonna go through each one of these, but we're gonna just chime in on spirituality. So, which one of you brothers want to tackle it first?
You know, I think I jump right on in.
Okay.
I think I jump right on in if you brothers don't mind. Yeah, that's a powerful question. I do believe there is a difference between spirituality and religion. You know, for me, one of the greatest difference in spirituality and the religion is freedom. You know, in a religion, you can be bound to what the spiritual, you know, leader says in this sect of that particular, you know, denomination or cult, if you will. You know, and when I say cult, please understand that's not just in a bad sense. You know, a cult is just people that have a belief that's not commonly known.
Well, can I just say something to that?
Yes, sir.
You know, as we get like even deeper into like religion, you understand that even the word cult, and we can kind of look that up later. It kind of circulates around religion, and it's not to say like we look at cult to be negative because you know you got different meanings. You know,
Right.
we always taught you know there's many different meanings to a word. But sometimes we get stuck on one meaning of the word, you know. And sometimes when things is not coming to us, we tend to criticize it or look at it in a form of being something that's, you know, evil or something that, you know, just not in line with the norm that is. But when we think about like the word cult that we're talking about, a religion is a cult. Religion, period, is a cult. when you think about it. What's the definition of a cult? It talks about religious principle, like religious principles and things that that you follow within.
Mhm.
So when you think of that and you can identify with that definition, then of course you are a cult. But it's not to say, like what you say, it's not to say that it's a bad thing. I
Right.
think we have to get out of that mindset,
Right.
that every time, we talk about this here, oh, if they're a cult, they're wicked, they're evil, they're bad people, you know what I'm saying?
They go drink cyanide and everybody.
Right. No,
that's what everybody think of.
you uninformed
Right.
about whatever they practice.
Right.
Just say
Exactly.
that. Don't say that they're, these bad people. Say you're uninformed about what they're teaching. And maybe if you educate yourself more, maybe you'll understand what's going on within that particular religion or whatever it may be. And it's not to justify religion. I'm just trying to justify the word.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's part of being spiritual.
Right.
Because being spiritual also is to be intelligent.
Right.
You have to think on things. I have to be able to have a spiritual mind, a mind that is, universal, because, every culture has its own spirituality.
Sure. Yes, it does.
And the vast majority of cultures have their own religion.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get into the spiritual side, the intellectual side of things, to say, well, let me reason to see the good in this.
Right.
Versus in a religion, it's just all about, well, you don't think how I think, then it's bad, it's wrong, it's evil. So that's one of the big difference. Spirituality versus religion with me is the difference, the power of reasoning. A lot of people that's on one side of it, they don't reason. You can just tell them whatever. And I talked to several people, and I would tell them, like, look, I want to show you something, and they'll be like, no, just tell it to me. And it's like, no, I don't want to just tell it to you. I'm not trying to be the guy that just talk to you.
Because at the end of the day, Shubael told me this.
Right.
Okay. Who is Shubael at the end? Which Shubael is the ambassador. However, where did you get this information from?
Mm-hmm.
And we always talk, to make sure that you know the source where the information come from. Because as you showing them the source. So no, you're not gonna go saying Shubael showed you, gave you this information. You're gonna go and say, the Interpreter's Dictionary said this.
Right.
Whatever the source is.
Right, most definitely.
Said this, and I get what you're saying.
It's been a messenger. It's been a messenger. Yeah, and this is like this talk about spirituality versus religion. And I had some notes, but it's like the spirituality is such. This is a topic that we could be on for a long time versus religion. So we're gonna open just when we talk about spirituality or being spiritual. What needs to be considered is that we are all spiritual to one degree or another.
Mm-hmm.
It can be higher or it can be lower, depending on your extent of your connection, I'm gonna say, to the Most High, or your connection to whatever it is that you believe in, which is spirituality. So we all have some spirituality with us, but your spirit, when you look at it as a being, the spiritual part is that which is the animating force. Like our bodies are carnal, but they become alive when they get infused with a spirit. So the animating part of you, that which you can hear, you can see, you can feel, you can touch, is the spirit. So that's spiritual. We're all spiritual beings. All of us are, brothers and sisters, men and women. And we haven't even talked about religion, is because that's what makes you come alive. Some might say it's your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Some might say it's your spirit, but it's the spirituality is what wakes you up. That's why when someone is deceased, they say, well, their spirit is going back to the Father. Some people say they're going to heaven. But the spirituality, the spirit is that which brings us to life.